Welcome back to Jordan's Backyard Chickens. My name is Jordan Wright. Are you getting ready for a fair project and trying to figure out which chicken breed is the best fit? Whether you're looking for a great show bird, a strong egg layer, or a friendly breed that's easy to handle, I've got you covered in today's live stream. Stick around because after we go over how to select the perfect breed for your project, I'll be sharing the results of yesterday's YouTube poll and giving you a sneak peek at the next big video coming out on my channel. For those of you who have already submitted questions, I really appreciate it. Your engagement makes this community better, and I'll be answering as many of them as I can. Now, these are my experiences from helping families choose the right chickens for their needs. If you have a favorite breed or different advice, drop it in the comments below and I'd love to hear from you. And if you're watching this after the live ends, don't worry, I'll be checking the comments and responding to you. All right, let's get started. Question number 1 is, what is the important factor for you when you're choosing your project? So when I was in 4-H and showing in the junior fair show, I really enjoyed show birds. And now you have show birds, you have production layers, you have, of course, meat birds for turkeys and chickens and ducks. And then you also have some fairs using eggs as a class. Well, for me, I really want that bird to stand out and be high quality for the judge, but also be very nice on my farm to me and my family. Because here is the fact. If the bird to me is very flighty and hard to handle the entire rest of 51 out of 52 weeks of the year, it's not going to be a very enjoyable time. So you, with these layers and with these showbirds, have them such a long time. For me, a big factor in choosing a specific breed is going to be how their temperament is. Are they going to go and be able to be introduced to the rest of the chickens that I currently have? And are they going to be nice to me and my family and not flighty? They're not going to be jumping off the walls and off the roof. So that's some things that I look for when I'm choosing my birds. So I really appreciate the question. And question number 2 is, have I ever shown birds at the fair before? And if so, what breeds and how did it go? So yes, I have. I graduated in 2014 and I showed birds, chickens, ducks, turkeys. I showed goats at the fair. I showed a lot of different things. And I really enjoyed, of course, raising the animal and learning about the animal. Back in 2014 and before, I think I did it for like 4 years in high school. And then, of course, after high school. And it's something that's really stuck with me because it is a very easy project to get into. I started with dark brown leghorns. I had a few different colors, varieties of the leghorns, whites, silvers, of course, dark brown leghorns. And then I figured out that I really enjoy white-crested black Polish, and I really enjoy silkies. We just were not set up for raising silkies. So white-crested black Polish is where I really landed. And I really enjoyed also, along with actually showing the bird, I enjoyed showmanship because it's important for fairs to have that showmanship. Not everybody is wanting to actually have a bird that is going to go win at Ohio Nationals or is going to go win at a big poultry show. A lot of us are in it for the enjoyment, and the showmanship allows us to test our knowledge and have fun and compete with each other when you're showing against my high-end showbird, high-quality showbird. I really appreciate it for everybody who's watching the live. So that's how I took it. And it's very important that we are having fun and we're educating even more than going out and winning. Sometimes things are set up nowadays to go win, win, win. I would like to have birds that I can go home and enjoy more, and that's how I took the 4-H. And then when showmanship came, then that's when I really competed, when I was able to test my knowledge. So question number 3 is, okay, so you have all of the birds in the barn. How do judges know what is the best chicken at the fair? So first of all, when we're talking about showbirds, this is an American standard of perfection. So inside all of these pages is exactly, right down to the eye color that a chicken should have, what the bird's breed and color variety says. So your bird that day is judged off of what is in this book. What a perfect, if it's a white-crested black Polish, for instance, like what I used to show. What a perfect white-crested black Polish is, what it exemplifies is inside this book. Then the judge has to take and has to apply what knowledge he has in his personal life from this book, and of course what's on the pages, because some breeds are very rare and the judge just flat may not come up against that many be a weird unique breed. Around here, not going to be a whole lot of seals. It's a game bird that stands nearly straight up, and so he's going to rest solely on the standard of perfection and exactly what it says, whereas Silkies would be very prominent. And so he's going to have probably already had a deep knowledge of what the standard of perfection says and how to judge that bird. So that's showbirds. For broiler chicken, they're looking at a completely different thing. And for meat birds, they're looking at a completely different thing. They're only looking at the meat qualities in that bird and also how well feathered that bird is. It sounds crazy because I know that you're not going to eat the feathers, and hopefully nobody's went to the supermarket and bought chicken or turkey meat that's already still got feathers on them. That would not be the best. But when we're going to these fairs and we're judging poultry, these judges are using it. It's called conditioning. And which one, that probably from last to first, you have meat qualities. The longer, wider breast muscle, those are all going to play in effect. But when you get down to the final top 5, top 3, that show condition's really going to stay in and really going to take an effect. So a little bit ago, I talked about the importance of not having every single person wanting showbirds and wanting to really compete at a high level with a high investment. Something cool that started to happen about when I got out of 4-H and aged out of 4-H, because you, of course, age out of 4-H after high school, is a production layer class. And so I found this really cool website that kind of walks you through what you're looking for on production layers right here. And so if you go to agdaily.com up here, then let me see, it should have popped it up, but it looks like it might not have. So hopefully you guys can see that. They StreamYard just made a new thing here. And of course just changed what we are looking for and looking at. Let me give it a second to load up. But basically, as crazy as it sounds, the pigment on the chicken, as it lays its eggs, is actually going to change. The chicken, when it's born and before it lays eggs, will have a very yellow pigment on its legs, on its beak, in just different areas. As that chicken lays its eggs, that yellow pigment will actually turn paler and paler. So the idea is that the highest producing hens are going to have a paler skin and paler appearance. So that's number one. Number two is that we want that chicken to have a nice wide egg canal for that egg to come out. And as chickens are laying more and more eggs, their pelvic bones kind of expand. And so that's another place that chicken judge is going to look at. And then we just need to have a wide bird that's going to be able to easily pass those large eggs, because the market is looking for large brown eggs or large white eggs. You might be able to have colored chicken eggs in, like an Easter egger. I'm not really certain because on that, to be completely honest, because to me, that was kind of put in that class for these hybrid layers, such as a Isa white, an Isa brown, a golden comet. Not so much for an Easter egger, but it probably you'd be fine. But I don't know how your Easter egger would compete with a golden comet, for example, because that golden comet is going to lay a larger egg. So that in theory, and they're going to lay more eggs. So in theory, that golden comet would probably produce better than what the Easter egger would produce. So I really appreciate everybody's questions down in the comments and everybody who has emailed me questions. So each day on my YouTube channel, I have something fun up, and they're in a community post. YouTube appears like it does not like images in their quizzes. So I've went, because you guys really like it and I really like images in the quizzes. We are able to learn more. A lot of this stuff is really good knowledge to have for our personal flock, and a lot of good knowledge to have for our barnyard and just in our head, keep us entertained. But also, when we're doing showmanship, some of this stuff will come up in higher end judging classes for chickens. And I really want the channel to be able to be helpful. So I have created these image polls. And today's post is, which of these chicken breeds is old enough to be traced back to the Roman conquest of the Iberian Peninsula? And it's really cool because there's 4 different choices on there. In the comments below each of those posts is the answer, since I can't put them in. The regular quizzes, if they didn't have pictures, basically you'd click the answer, and whether you got it right or you got it wrong, it'd tell you what the correct answer is, because I would have put that correct answer in and would tell you why the other answers are incorrect. Well, I put the answers down in the comments underneath that poll section. And so if you want to know, comment on this video. If you want to know, I encourage you to take the poll there and then check down in the comments to see if you got the answer correct. Yesterday's quiz, I'll give you the answer for that one, is what is the smallest chicken? And there are 4 different choices as well: a Yokohama, a Sarama, a white-faced black Spanish, and naked chickens. Do you know which is the smallest bird? Saramas are the world's smallest chickens, weighing in at 1.1 pounds or smaller. They're really cool. They look like their chests are really pumped up. And that's I've seen videos on chicks and young birds, and that pretty much looks like it starts from the time that they hatch and start growing up. So I am finishing up my next long form video, and it'll be out by Monday, hopefully either today or tomorrow or Monday. And it's one of them that are on different chicken breeds, which I really enjoy, learning about the history of the different breeds and more information about the different breeds. And it seems like you guys do as well. If you have preferences on on the different topics, I'd love to hear them down in the comments, or you can email me, and it'd be really good information for me so that I can tailor my videos better to you guys, my audience, because I really appreciate you coming back to the channel and you really being active participants. And so I'm going to show you a preview of the introduction to my next video. Did you know there are over 500 breeds of chickens in the world? Each one is unique in its own way. But today, I'm sharing my list of 10 most stunning breeds you need to see. But before we dive into the top picks, let's take a quick look at 2 breeds that almost made the cut. Well, I really appreciate you watching my live stream and being an active participant on my channel. Have a great one. Bye.